press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hi students, in the previous chapters we have discussed about the fact that charge at rest produce the electric field and similarly magnet at rest produce the magnetic field. But we are today starting a new chapter, moving charge and magnetism. Here we are going to see three new concepts. The one is called electromagnetism. So electromagnetism is a branch of physics which deals with magnetism of the current carrying conductor or moving charge. That means how magnetism is produced surrounding a current carrying conductor or surrounding a moving charge. Details we have to discuss in that chapter called electromagnetism. That branch which explains about the magnetism due to current carrying conductor or due to a moving charge. That is also called as a magnetic effect of electric current. Either electromagnetism or magnetic effect of electric current. And second is, we also see that moving charges like electrons, protons or alpha particles experience a force, moving charges experience a force in a magnetic field. This phenomenon is used to accelerate the charged particles to a very high energy required for some different research purposes by a device called as a cyclotron. On what factors the force depends, and designing and working of the cyclotrons we have to see detail in that second concept as a force on a moving charge in a magnetic field. And third is about the force on a conductor carrying current placed in a magnetic field. A conductor, simply you place it in a magnetic field, it does not show any movement or force, but it will experience a force when it carries a current. On what factors depends, we have to see details in that. Further, that phenomenon is used in designing the galvanometer, which used to detect the current in a circuit. Further, that galvanometer, how it is converted into a device which can measure the current called ammeter, or the voltage called voltmeter. Potential difference across a device can be measured using a device called as a voltmeter. How that can be designed, or galvanometer how converted into ammeter and voltmeter, have to see the third concept. All the three together come under the moving charge and magnetism. So if you go to the board paper, see almost you will have all parts of the question paper, the questions. In 1 mark 1 question, and 2 mark 1 question, and 3 mark 1 question, and 5 marks 1 question, maybe problem or theory. Most of the time appeared the theory from this. Around 10 to 11 mark questions are coming from that moving charge and magnetism, combining these three effects. And as for NEET and JEE, for NEET 4 questions and JEE maybe 3 or 2 questions appearing constantly from these units. Most important chapter regarding the both for board and entrance. Let us see the chapter. First one is about electromagnetism. How magnetism is produced by an electric current carrying conductor. So we start with that concept of the Oersted discovery. The relation between the electric field and the magnetic field was discovered by Sir Christian Oersted in around 1820. What he observed, or he showed to the world, that a current carrying conductor can deflect a magnetic field placed near magnetic needle placed near to it. That means I shown here the figure. Consider a magnetic needle freely pivotable in the horizontal plane, a circuit not carrying the current, magnetic needle is resting along the north and south. But when the key is closed, current established in the wire, which is placed above the needle, immediately this deflects. It shows a deflection when current is carried by this wire which is placed above the needle. Or if you increase the strength of the current, we see the increase in the deflection. More the current, more the deflection we observe. Similarly, if I reverse the polarities and made the current to flow in the opposite direction, immediately we see that the deflection is also reverses. According to the direction of the current, deflection is also changes. Earlier, let us suppose it was deflected towards the left, now it is deflecting towards the right. And even you increase the current in that direction, also the deflection increases. Or if you take the needle closer to the wire, or I can say separation between the wire and the needle becomes smaller and smaller, the deflection become larger and larger deflection. More deflection, we see the separation between as becoming smaller and smaller. Why this deflects? How the Oersted come to that conclusion? You studied in magnetism. Suppose if you have a bar magnet, it has a magnetic field around it. Think of another magnet, maybe north and south placed. This also has its own magnetism around it. And you studied that there is a kind of repulsion between the two. That means repulsive force. When north pole is brought closer to each other, it acts as a magnetic dipole. It is also act as a magnetic dipole. When the two magnetic dipoles are brought closer, there may be attraction or repulsion. You studied like poles, when brought closer repels, unlike poles come closer attracts. The same phenomenon you are seeing here. You think needle as a magnetic dipole. When the current, no deflection. When the wire is carrying the current, in one direction it attracts, in other direction there is a repulsion. The direction is changing, which clearly indicates that this wire which is carrying current, similar to the magnet, behaves as a magnetic dipole and produce in and around of it a magnetic field. Surrounding the conductor, it produces a magnetic field. This magnetic field of the current wire interacts with the field of the needle and make the needle to deflect. As we bring closer, more interaction, more deflection. As we take away, the less interaction, less deflection, which clearly suggests that current carrying wire produces a magnetic field. This conclusion was drawn by Oersted in 1820. And also he showed that moving charge experience the similar kind of magnetic field produces. It also produces the same type of magnetic field. Later on, let us imagine how this path is. The direction or the nature of the magnetic field around a straight wire. When we keep the same needle round the wire, we will get a direction of the magnetic field also along which a north pole travel. So suppose think the current wire is perpendicular to the board. I placed the wire perpendicular to the board. Now if I place the needle at different positions, so the colored one is representing the north pole. North pole is bending towards like, it also shows a circular path. That means magnetic field is anti-clockwise visible. The magnetic field appears to be in the anti-clockwise direction. If the current is towards you, away from the board. If it is into the board, same wire is perpendicular to the board and taken this, we see that magnetic needle deflects in such a fashion that the clockwise magnetic field appears. In generally, I have shown the number of field lines. Their concentric circular magnetic field appears round the conductor, straight conductor, as advancing inside. Enlarging in radius, common center we see such type of magnetic field originating from the conductor passes perpendicular to the plane containing the wire. So such a magnetic field is observed, and the conclusion was drawn by Oersted that every current carrying conductor produces a magnetic field. It is of electrical origin. Is one fact we come to know. Also we can also learn about the other facts related to this. Is already we discussed, if we have a charge, it produces surrounding it an electric field. At rest, charge at rest produced an electric field. That we come to know. Charge, similarly a magnet at rest. Similarly, if you take magnet at rest produce a magnetic field, a magnetic dipole. So surrounding this, a magnetic field exists. Magnetic field. A current carrying conductor. Now we come to know that a magnetic field only appears. Electric field is zero. A current carrying conductor produces magnetic field. Whereas a moving charge with a definite velocity, if it is moving, it produces both electric field and magnetic field. It produces electric field as good as magnetic field. Moving charge with the constant speed, with the constant velocity, it produces the electric and magnetic field. They are in the different planes. We see details later. Apart from this, if there is an accelerating or vibrating charge, produces the electromagnetic wave. Electromagnetic wave, that electric and magnetic waves traveling in space, along with electric field and magnetic field. So this we have to keep in mind while going through the chapters. A charge at rest, remember, it can have only the electric field. A magnet at rest can produce only the magnetic field. Current carrying conductor produce only the magnetic field. Electric field is zero because current carrying conductor is not charged. Only the flow of charges in the wire. Again, a charge moving with constant velocity produce both in one plane electric field in perpendicular magnetic field simultaneously in phase with same energy and phase. Electromagnetic wave. If an accelerating or vibrating charge can produce electric field, magnetic field along with an electromagnetic wave. With this basic idea, we are entering to the chapter of electromagnetism to understand the magnetic effect of electric current. One fact, finally we concluded that a current carrying conductor is producing magnetic field in the surrounding region in a plane perpendicular to it. We see the strong magnetic field in a plane, perpendicular plane to the plane containing the current conductor. So before coming to that fact, just if we have a wire carrying the current XY, so to understand the magnetism of this, we consider a small length, elemental length of the conductor carrying current, small length dl, current I. This we call it as a current element. What is current element means? It is the small elemental length of the thin conductor carrying current. It is a vector quantity. It is a vector. magnitude of it, magnitude of that is I into dl, product of the current into the length of the element. I is the current carried by the element and dl is the length of the element. And direction is concerned, direction of current element is I into dl is direction of current. Direction of current itself is the direction of the current element, but magnitude is product of current into elemental length of that wire. This concept is necessary to understand the magnetism associated with the current carrying conductor. Suppose if we have a current carrying conductor, so you come to know current carrying conductor produce magnetic field. It is a vector. Magnitude of the magnetic field is given by Biot and Savart law. Magnitude of the magnetic field can be given by that. At the same time, direction of magnetic field given by three different rules: right hand clasp rule, Ampere's swimming rule, third, Maxwell's corkscrew rule. The result of all these rules is same. They just give the direction of the magnetic field. I hope you are understood. The magnetic field's magnitude is given by Biot and Savart law. Direction is given by any one of these rules. Let us see the Biot and Savart law. With the experimental results, Biot and Savart arrived at the mathematical expression for the magnetic field in the space about a point in terms of the current that produces the magnetic field. For example, just I take this XY is a conductor. In this a elemental length is a dl, and this is the point P where I want to get the magnetic field dB, and magnitude we are studying, it is the distance r, the angle made is theta, current is I flowing this. I consider a conductor in certain shape, small element I taken of length dl carrying current I. R is the distance of the point from the element. Theta is the angle made by the line joining the element and the point with the element. Now, according to Biot and Savart, they conducted many experiments and drawn the conclusion and represented the conclusion in the form of mathematical expression, which gives you the magnitude of the magnetic field directly proportional to the current. More the current, more the magnetic field appears here, and directly proportional to the length of the element, length of current element. That is dl. Larger the dl, contribution to the field goes on increases. More the length, more the field is here. And directly proportional to the sine of the angle made by line joining the element with the point P and the element theta. You know sine 0 is 0, but theta has increases, which clearly suggests the field become maximum in a plane perpendicular to the plane containing the wire and the point. That sine theta, as theta increases, the field increases, but inversely proportional to the square of the distance of the point from the element. These are the four quantities on which the magnetic field produced at a point near the current element is given by them. So combining these, some proportionality constant I can write as mu naught upon 4 pi is a constant of proportionality of 4. This I into dl sine theta by r square is the expression. And you are well known mu naught is nothing but equal to 4 pi into 10 power minus 7. That may be Henry per meter or Tesla per ampere per meter. So this is the absolute permeability of the vacuum. Absolute permeability of the vacuum is a constant we brought here. This given the expression for magnetic field due to not conductor, this current element of length dl giving here. So if you want to express in the vector form the same relation, dB equal to mu naught upon 4 pi into I dl into r by r cube. Because you are knowing dl cross r, I dl cross r equal to I into dl r into sine theta. I dl into r sine theta, because it is a cross product of two vectors. So I dl, one r I brought, therefore I made it cube here. It is a representation in the vector form the same magnetic field, which clearly says, you know dl is in the bord of the plane, r is in the bord of the plane, no doubt magnetic field which produced perpendicular to the bord, and also it is seems to be inward field. I given you in the magnetism and matter, we are showing with cross mark. So field is into the bord, perpendicular to the plane containing the element and the point, and given vector form and also in the scalar form. This clearly dependence factors explained here. This also may be written, because before concluding I am coming to the another equation here. Just I write here the space available with this. You know current is equal to Q by dt. If I take dl here in this dl, Q into dl, I into dl, if I take here I into the current element, I can be written as current is Q by dt, dl by dt is the speed of the particle, therefore it becomes Q into V. The same relation, instead of IDL, I can write in the form, if the charge is moving charge produces a magnetic field. So that it may be Q into V cross R by R cube. The same positive charge is moving in that direction. The direction of the magnetic field also remains same, because perpendicular to both V and R. Q into V cross R by R cube. Q is the charge flowing with speed V, R is the remaining R same. Instead of current, I brought charge moving with the speed V. Thus, whether the current carrying conductor may produce or charge may produce the magnetic field. I hope you are understood. An important question asking for 3 marks in the board. State and explain Biot and Savart law. Just the experimental observation made by Biot and Savart, they arrived at a conclusion and expressed the complete conclusions of the experiment in the form of mathematical equation or expression representing the magnitude of the magnetic field in space about a point in terms of the current that produces the magnetic field. The dependent factors learnt, equation, and this permeability of vacuum, considering this is in air or vacuum, free space, magnetic field in the vector form, magnetic field in the vector form considering the charge moving with the velocity v. So here also we can define, I can define the ampere taking this equation. Come to know magnetic field equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl sin theta by r square. Let us imagine an arch whose length is 1 meter, arc of a circle. So this is theta is 90 degree, radius is 1 meter, part of a circle of length 1 meter I taken. Here the magnetic field is produced point B. Current can be said to be equal to 1 ampere. Now think about this, what happens? You come to know mu naught upon 4 pi is 10 power minus 7. I told mu naught is 4 pi into 10 power minus 7. Mu naught upon 4 pi can directly written as 10 power minus 7 into current is 1 ampere, dl is 1 meter into sin 90 divided by 1 square. What you got is equal to 10 power minus 7 Tesla. This gives you the hint to define ampere. From the Biot and Savartla law, we can define ampere. You defined ampere, I is equal to dq by dt, 1 coulomb of charge causing a section per second. Then we call it is 1 ampere. Now I am defining 1 ampere under magnetic field. 1 ampere of current is that current which flowing through a conductor in the form of an arc of a circle of radius 1 meter, of length 1 meter, at the center of the circle produce a magnetic field of 10 power minus 7 Tesla. That means if you consider the length of 1 meter wire carrying current 1 ampere bent in the form of an arc of a circle of radius 1 meter, then these together produce a field at this must be of this value, then no doubt current equal to 1 ampere. That's the definition of ampere we have taken. And further I give you the another is for the conductor, magnetic field at P due to conductor entirely if you want, B is equal to integration of mu naught upon 4 pi, because this all we can integrate. So all the elements if I take together, every element is producing the magnetic field of its own. Vector sum of all is the magnetic field about a point. That may be obtained using I sin theta into dl by r square. Integrating dB will get our vector sum of all the elements magnetic field about a point P gives you the magnetic field at P due to entire conductor given to you. And further from that it is more clear. I hope you are understood definition of ampere and how to get the magnetic field by this elemental concept. Now coming to the equation back, where the magnetic field is in that. So we are seeing this is an expression for magnetic field. Now, if you take a wire carrying the current I, if I consider a point near to this, any line parallel to that, then theta becomes 0. If theta is 0, you are seeing that dB equal to 0 for theta 0 are even equal to 180 degree. That means current may be opposite. This is the direction of R. So that there is no magnetic field on the axis of the conductor. Or along the conductor. We cannot see the magnetic field parallel to it. We cannot have the magnetic field in the plane in that direction. We cannot see the field at all. But consider a point theta equal to 90 degree, field become maximum. The value is mu naught upon 4 pi I dl by R square. That means we can imagine if it is the current element, then you think about a point. That means here it is 90 degree or this direction. The magnetic field appears to be maximum R. And it can be shown like this. If we have a straight conductor carrying current, this is the plane of the board. I can imagine a plane perpendicular to the board. If I imagine a plane parallel to this current element, no magnetic field. Perpendicular to the current element, I am seeing the magnetic field which is continuously enlarging in size with the center on the wire. On the wire there is no magnetic field. Parallel to the wire, no magnetic field. Perpendicular plane, every plane you can imagine, another plane for example. Here also we can see the magnetic field. Magnetic field is present in a plane perpendicular to the plane containing the conductor and any point of study. This plane perpendicular to that magnetic field exists. That confirms field is 0 on the wire or parallel to the wire. And dB maximum perpendicular plane. So that is about this. Let us see this equation again suggest on seeing that one. Coming to the another point that all other factors are keeping constant. If I draw the curve, entrance point of view, if you imagine B versus I, you are seeing other parameters you keep constant. B is proportional to I. B proportional to I is a linear equation. Therefore, I0, B0. And you will get the points like this. If you vary the current for different values, you can measure the value of B and it is a straight line. The curve represents how the B varies with the current in the element. Larger the current, linear variation of current gives you the magnetic field. Linear variation of the magnetic field. Suppose with respect to R, you know as B is inversely with R square. R square, B versus R if you take, sharply decreases. This is the nature of the curve we see when B versus R. And also you have studied in the coordinate geometry and graphs, B versus R square if you take, B versus R square, this becomes a straight line. You will get a straight line. So these are the variation of curve, B versus current, B versus R, or B versus R square. So you will have a nature of this type, so that the remaining we come to know the magnitude of the magnetic field. Magnitude of the magnetic field produced by a current carrying conductor is given by Biot and Savart law. Dependent factors we have taken, vector form, definition of ampere on that, and also we have discussed about when the field is 0, when the field is maximum, and further representation graphically the variation of the B with respect to I or distance R. Now we come to know the magnitude. Now coming to the direction regarding direction of the magnetic field. So the first direction of magnetic field produced by the conductor carrying current. Let us take the right hand clasp probe. Right hand clasp probe. So just imagine this is the wire carrying the current. Plane I taken perpendicular to that. This is the wire carrying the current. I vertically upward. And we see the magnetic field lines are circular with common center on the wire enlarging in size. But what direction? So the right hand clasp rule says that you have to, or imagine you are holding the wire or clasp the wire in your right hand such that all other fingers clasp the wire, but thumb points the direction of the current. It is the thumb direction. Thumb pointing the direction of the current, remaining fingers which are clasped the wire. You see here, they are now seems to be anti-clockwise, this order. That means I am saying the magnetic field is anti-clockwise B. So the field lines are appearing to be like this. So it is the clasp fingers direction. Suppose if you made the direction of current downward, let us see what happens. The nature of the magnetic field is circular, but the current direction, you see that it is downward. Right hand thumb should point in the direction of the current. Now you have to clasp the wire. Clasping of the wire is in the clockwise direction. Thereby the field is like this. We see the field is clockwise. Current is downward. This is the direction of B. That is what given by right hand clasp rule. For a straight conductor we are discussing. For a straight conductor carrying current. I hope you have understood this. You have to clasp the wire in your right hand so that thumb should point in the direction of the current. Remaining fingers represent the direction of the magnetic field surrounding the conductor. That is the statement, and you understood how we can represent the magnetic field direction by that, or identify the direction of the magnetic field according to right hand clasp rule that you have followed for straight conductor. Ampere's swimming rule, the second one I am coming to. So here you have to place a magnetic needle in such a way that it is below the wire, north and south, and wire should carry the current I. Above that, imagine you are swimming. If you are swimming in the direction of the current, it is your left and right. So if I am swimming, this is the left side and this is the right side. I am swimming in the direction. Into the board is left, out of the board is right. Direction of swimming is the direction of the current. Now, the needle which is below the wire deflected towards my left of that. That means if I turn this, you better understand. If you turn this, you will come to know this is the direction of the current as previously taken for the right hand clasp rule. And if you are swimming here with your left and right, Below the wire is turning to the left means north pole is tending to the left, below the wire. If it is tending to the left below the wire means above the wire it tending to the right. Thereby it represents the magnetic field B like. Or even I can show in this also like this. So that below the wire it is like anti-clockwise. Turn it, you will get 90-degree turn, you will feel that one. So just statement is, you have to swim in the direction of the current. Then the magnetic field placed below the wire with its north pole turn towards your left. This is the conductor carrying current. Below there is a magnetic field. You are swimming in this direction. It is your left. Now it is the direction of current. Now you think this is the wire carrying current. Now magnetic needle without current is showing north and south. Now just when it is carrying the current in the direction, your left is towards this, is turned like this. That means this is the direction of the field. And just you think the direction of the field is like this. If I am turning, see it is like this, you are followed right to left. And if I made it is right to left, if I turn it is right to left. That means it is anti-clockwise. I think the field is anti-clockwise. That is the statement of Ampere's. Same in case of right hand clasp rule also we got, if the current is upward, magnetic field is anti-clockwise. Circular and anti-clockwise we observed. Coming to the third is a Maxwell's corkscrew rule. Maxwell corkscrew rule. This is the direction of the current. And let us imagine a screw, right hand screw. It is a wooden piece I have taken to turn the screw fit into the wooden board. This is the right hand screw, means turnings in the screw are made such that when you rotate it with the right hand, it will move upward when you rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. So the turnings are being this is the tip. Now this is the right hand. I am again saying this is the tip screw. It is right hand. Now turning is representing by thumb. Now we can turn. So when you turn like you are feeling, for example, if you take this is a cardboard, you turn anti-clockwise, you are seeing that your fingertip is punching in. That means it is rising upward. When you turn anti-clockwise, it rising upward. But you cannot see that. If you clockwise, it will come down. Turning anti-clockwise rises up. Turning clockwise, it falls down. That means we have to turn in such a way that the tip of the screw should advance in the direction of the current. Then direction of turning of the screw gives you the direction of the magnetic field here. That is B. Again same as it is taken here. If you turn clockwise, it come down means current direction is downward. Whichever you may use, but more oftenly the question appeared on right hand clasp rule, or sometimes instead of clasp they are also calling it as a right hand thumb rule. Right hand thumb rule or right hand clasp rule. The most easy to follow, and even question comes in the entrance to find the direction more easier. Just imagine you are holding the wire in your right hand. Thumb is pointing the direction of current. Then remaining fingers represents the direction of the field. That is the right hand clasp or right hand thumb rule. I hope you are followed Ampere's screw rule and also the Maxwell's corkscrew rule. So all these we have discussed for straight conductor carrying current. That means here, whether it is a clasp rule or thumb rule or anything, final conclusion you bring, if the wire is a straight conductor carrying current, then the field lines will be circular. Field lines will be circular in a plane perpendicular to the current, and magnetic field is anti-clockwise if it is upward. Magnetic field is anti-clockwise. Suppose the current is downward, the same field appears to be clockwise, like this, B. Circular field, straight conductor, magnetic field is circular with all circles, center is on the wire, concentric expanding circles. This is, or you can take the wire is kept in this order. Let us think like, now you are seeing the anti-clockwise direction. That means if you see the above is towards you, I can show with the dot. The field is towards you. And downward, if you see here, it is out of the board, perpendicular to the board coming out. It is the direction of B, out of the board or paper we are taking, and down it is into the board, B is, when the current is of this form. Suppose if the current is reversed, I, the same we will see that here. This become clockwise. Here it is becoming into the board, and here it become out of the board. Because like this, it is into the board, whereas you see that below the wire is out of the board, above the wire is into the board. That all depends on the direction of the current. That help, right hand thumb rule is more easy to follow in all these cases. So one thing remember, for straight wire they give magnetic field is in circular column with common center is on the wire. Follow the right hand thumb rule or clasp rule and come to know the direction, whether it is anti-clockwise or clockwise, where it is into the board and out of the board. Any fashion the wire may keep, we can find out. Suppose now the alternate I coming to. Suppose the second wire or conductor in the form of loop. In the form of loop. Wire is in the form of loop. What happens to be? Suppose this is the shape. Now I want to know the magnetic field at the center. For this, let current is anti-clockwise. Current is anti-clockwise. What happens? Let us look into here. This is the small portion you consider as an element. For this, what is the direction of current? It is some small portion is straight wire. Straight conductor, you think this is the distance. So current is upward. If you observed with the help of your right hand thumb rule, the field is towards you. That means here it is into the board, but here it is out of the board. So the enlarging circles we can see here the field is perpendicular to the board and towards us. Or you can take the point at this point. Again I can think the similar way. Here it is into the board, but here again out of the board. Because when you take like here, you see that this is into the board and here coming out. When you take here this position left, current is downward. Again hold like this. If you take the field lines, see it is out of board. Here it is into the board. And again if I take here, the current is outward towards this direction. Let us see. Inside the circle out of board, outside the circle into the board. Here it is into the board, here outward. Or you can think for different elements. Every element is producing the same effect, and cumulative effect is observed here from the all elements. Thereby, comparing to different points inside the circle, the field is by individual parts. But all elements magnetic field, individual elements magnetic field very weak, a small portion. But when you take the center, it consider the vector sum of all magnetic field of the elements. Vector sum of magnetic field of all elements is added up at the center. Again I shown it is all cases towards us. That means now the field is, if it is a circle carrying current I in the anti-clockwise direction, we get the field here which is perpendicular to the board, like this. You see the right hand clasp rule, we can reverse. Earlier in the straight wire, this represents the current, this represents the field. Now just change as the nature of the wire is also changed. Now nature of the wire becomes circular. You take fingers as the representing the current, thumb represents the field. So just hold like this, you will understand. The current is in the anti-clockwise direction, field is towards you, out of the board, field represents. It one technique. Or if I write the letter N, exactly matches with the nature here, because you put the cap, that represents the anti-clockwise, because you see in this case. So thus, same clasp rule for circular wire, you have to change that. Fingers, all fingers represents the current, thumb represents the field direction. Now the field is straight. Magnetic field is along a straight line. Straight line current, magnetic field is circular. Conductor is circular, magnetic field is straight. Again same rule, if anti-clockwise the current is, field is out of the board. Or I can show like this. So if it is anti-clockwise, it acts like a small dipole, north and south. That's the direction. Anti-clockwise, the current is flowing here. The current is flowing in the anti-clockwise direction. This is the plane of the loop. Anti-clockwise current, north and south pole, acts like a tiny dipole. Magnetic field is along a straight line. Or imagine it is circle. Clockwise current. Similarly, if you hold now the clockwise current, you see the current is clockwise. Every element, if you consider, again the same. Clockwise means you have to turn like this. Anti-clockwise you turn. If you turn clockwise, the field. So clearly indicates this is the end. Now the letter S correctly follows south pole. Field is into the board. Now it clearly, field is into the board. Current is clockwise, field is into the board. Current is anti-clockwise, field is out of the board. This also I can show. The current is flowing in this direction. The center produces like this. This is the south end and north end. So the field is towards this. Dipole is acting towards the left. So with this I shown you how the direction of the magnetic field can be assessed. Either the wire is straight or it may be the circular. In case of straight wire, field is circular nature. In case of a loop, circular nature of the wire, field becomes straight. Same thumb rule for straight wire, hold. Thumb represents the current, finger represents the field. In case of circular loop, think finger represents the current and thumb represents the direction of the magnetic field. This is importantly how to know. With the help of this, we are entering to understand the application of the Biot and Savart law. So we discussed what is Biot and Savart law says, gives you the magnitude of the magnetic field produced by a current carrying element. Directions given by the three different rules and how to assess the direction correctly explained here. Coming to the other, just one. Imagine you are holding a wire. The special cases entrance purpose I am saying this. One or two cases I show you. By the same knowledge, any way they give the question, you can answer. Possible to answer that. Now I am holding a wire perpendicular to the plane of the paper. Current is towards us, vertically upward. Imagine current is vertically upward, just like this. This is the wire, current is. Now, you know magnetic field is circular around this. So when we think this is the conductor carrying the current upward, current is magnetic field produced will be anti-clockwise. That means this is the direction of B due to the current in the wire which is perpendicular to the board. Again I am saying this north and south, east and west. That means this is the magnetic north and south, direction of earth magnetic field south, and this I am showing as east and west. See what happens to the resultant field at any point. There are two fields. Now the conductor is not in the free space. It also experiencing the magnetic field of the earth, and it has its own field also. At any point there are two fields. When you come to this, if I draw the tangent at this point, because current is towards you, when I take this is the direction of current, magnetic field is anti-clockwise, I taken here. This is the direction of B, as good as BH. Therefore, net field at this point can be written as B plus BH. The field at this point is this, if I consider a small element and thought the field will be total field at this point is the sum of the earth horizontal component plus B. But when come to here, similarly small element, you think this is the direction of B, but BH is acting upward 90 degree. What is the net field in this section is B net is equal to root of B square plus BH square. I think you have understood this. Because both are perpendicular. Similar situation here also arises. You see that this is the direction of BH, earth magnetic field. And this is the direction of B, again perpendicular. Net field at this point also I can write root of B square plus BH square. And again at this point, if you imagine, the field B is downward, BH is upward for this point. Now there is a chance of null point possible, not at all point, null point possible, because BH and B net towards west of this condition observed is BH minus B, because difference of the two. If B at a distance from the wire, when B become equal to BH, B equal to BH, this act as a null point. Null point is observed to the left. Sometimes in entrance the question coming on that. Where is the null point exist means you can. I think you are understood here. So this null point, how many null points possible means number of null, any number. Because this is the wire, parallel to the wire you think a line. Every point, suppose if I turn 90 degree, this is the wire, and this is the point where you are seeing the null point. This continues everywhere null point, equidistant from this distance. That means all these are null points. Null point exists parallel to the conductor, but to the west in that case. One case I showed here for you, and another case if the current is reversed. If I take in the clockwise direction, what should be the case? Let us see. So it is the current, clockwise current. Now direction is B, clockwise. So what happens? Let's imagine now. This is the direction of BH, and it is east and west. Now if you come to the positions, B and BH again at the north pole same, B net here also root of B square plus BH square, no changes. Even if you come here also, this is B and this is BH. Again B net is equal to BH square plus B square square root, perpendicular. At this point if you take B and also BH, therefore B plus BH is the net B magnetic field at west. When it is outward current, there was null point. Now if you come to here, this is the direction of B and this is BH. Possibility of null point appearing, B net is equal to BH minus B. So the two cases I shown. Let us think the other case. I hope you are understood here. I am coming to the another one. Holding the wire, carrying the current along east and west. Holding the wire such that it carries the current along east and west. So this is the plane, imagine. Now this is the direction along east-west. East-west, and this is the wire that carries the current. Now it is carrying the current. Already you know the field is out of the board. That means the field is anti-clockwise, which I am showing circle is a perpendicular to the board. It is the direction of B produced. Now this is east and west. Perpendicular means I can show similarly here. This is the direction of north and south along which BH is existing. Perpendicular to the board, inward. East, west, north and south. Now BH is in this direction. B is tangentially inward. See this, I show. It is B. The null point chances are there. Null point, again I am saying all the null points cannot come. It is coming at a distance where B become equal to BH, they are in opposite direction. Null point appears above the conductor. Above the conductor, if you take below here, see that the B and BH are added here. B plus BH is B net. Because B and BH appear in the same direction at this point, BH and B. When coming to this point, so BH is that direction and B in this 90 degree. Therefore, the net field here is root of BH square plus B square. Even at this position also same. This is the direction of BH and this is the direction of B. It is into the board. It is a two-dimensionally appear like that, but they are perpendicular. This perpendicularness I am showing here, this 90 degree. Thereby we can get the resultant field equal to root of BH square plus B square. So I shown different cases how the superposition of the fields can give you the magnetic field and also searching the null point in case of with the magnetic field of the earth. So any situation they give, similarly you think a given idea how to assess at a point the superposition of two fields, earth field and the field of the current carrying conductor and getting the null point. So most importantly we discussed today about magnetic field produced by a current carrying conductor. Biot and Savart law gives you the magnitude of the magnetic field. and the value is given by mu naught upon 4 pi I dl sin theta by r square. Direction of the field more conveniently we can use is the right hand clasp or thumb rule. How that can be employed I shown. With this one application I am coming to finding the magnetic field due to a straight conductor, near a straight conductor carrying current. First, magnetic field at a point near a straight conductor carrying current. For this, let us imagine a conductor carrying the current I, x and y be the points, let its length is L. At a point P, if you want to find the magnetic field, just join the ends of the conductor to that. So normal I draw from the point. This is the point O. The distance of the conductor from the point P is a D. To get the derivation, we are using the Biot and Savart law. I consider the small element of length L carrying the current at a distance L from the central point. And this also joining with the point, this distance is R and angle is theta. This I am considering as alpha, and end line joining with the midline is phi 1 and this may be phi 2. Now I want to get the expression for the magnetic field at P due to this. As per direction is concerned, now you become familiar. Hold the wire, upward it into the board. Magnetic field is into the board. Magnitude to determine, first write the equation for magnetic field due to current element. Current element is mu naught upon I dl sin theta by r square. This is the theta, r square is the distance of the point. This is magnetic field due to current element. Current element is this given. I have to substitute for this some values. Let us see this figure. Let us see this figure in which take this triangle. This triangle, and this is the angle alpha, and this is D, and this is L. Now in that triangle OP, what is a tan alpha? Tan alpha is L by D. Tan alpha, the first point, tan alpha is L by D, or L is equal to D into tan alpha. Differentiate this with respect to alpha. Tan alpha become secant square alpha, you know differentiation. Thereby I can write dl is equal to d into secant square alpha into d alpha is another two. Again you can write that if it is theta, this is 90 degree. Therefore, alpha is equal to 90 minus theta, or theta is equal to 90 minus alpha. Theta equal to 90 minus alpha is the third equation. I want to replace theta and dl. I want to replace r. Again you take alpha. Alpha, cos alpha is a d by r. Cos alpha is a d by r, but you are interested in r. R is equal to d by cos alpha, or it is nothing but d secant alpha. Now substitute for this. What happens to dB? Mu naught upon 4 pi. I think you are understood here. What I did, tan alpha is L by D. Differentiation of L with respect to alpha, dl by d alpha is d into secant square alpha, or dl is d secant square alpha into d alpha. 90 alpha plus theta should be 90, or theta equal to 90 minus alpha. Again d by r, adjacent side by hypotenuse is cos alpha or d secant alpha. Now current I, in place of dl I can write d into secant square alpha into d alpha, that is ideal, into sine 90 minus alpha, because this theta equal to 90 minus alpha, divided by r square. R is this d square secant square alpha. See here, secant square alpha cancels. 1 d cancels. What remained here is mu naught upon 4 pi d into cos alpha into d alpha. D cancelled, I, mu naught I. Mu naught I upon 4 pi d into sin 90 minus alpha is cos alpha into d alpha. This is dB. Now I have to integrate this. dB is integrating, you will get the magnetic field due to the entire conductor. That is towards left, this I take minus sign, plus integrating this from minus phi to plus phi 1. This vector, mu naught I by 4 pi d into cos alpha into d alpha. But this is constant. If I brought out mu naught I by 4 pi d is a constant, integration is a sin alpha from minus phi to phi 1. This you got as a sin alpha. If simplified, you will get mu naught I by 4 pi d sin phi 1 minus of minus, I can write directly, because sin of minus pi by 2 minus sin of minus pi by 2 is plus sin phi by 2, phi 2. Thus you got the expression for magnetic field. So this is how we derived here. No derivation is necessary for the board examination. For board examination, this equation is enough. But I showed you for your reference, because you are interested in NEET and JEE. Some concepts are essentially required to get the solutions in JEE papers. So we taken the Biot and Savart law, substituted for dl, substituted for theta, and substituted for r. And integration arrived this equation, where phi 1 and phi 2 are the angles made with respect to the center line at the point P. Suppose if I return these angles, I write with a different color, better to follow. So this is theta 1 and this as theta 2 with respect to the conductor end point. Now the magnetic field related to this relation, same, mu naught I by 4 pi d into. What you write here, this 90 phi by 2. Theta 2 is 5 by 2. In place of 5 by 2, I can write 90 minus theta 2. Sin of 90 minus theta 2. Sin of 90 minus theta is cos theta. Therefore, I can write directly cos theta 1 plus cos theta 2. Either this equation or this equation can be used. Both are same. Phi 1 and phi 2 are the angle made at the point with respect to the line joining the point P and the conductor. Whereas theta 1 and theta are the angles made with the end of the point line joining with conductor. That you have to be careful in substitution of cos or sine. Sine is at point P, cos is at the conductors. At least you remember these relations. These relations is enough. Directly you are asking. There is an alternate method. One law we study, Ampere's circuital law, where we prove the same relation directly as for a special case for infinitely long straight conductor. That is for your syllabus. No derivation, but equation you remember correctly. It's a special cases we'll discuss in the next class. Thank you.